You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Implosion. Darn, I gotta stop with these botches. I'm Seth Draken, and joining me is Mike Poland.
Good evening, people. I'm gonna warn people that I didn't really get to see much of Impact because I was out of show tonight.
Too bad you missed a great show.
I bet I didn't.
You're right, you didn't. We're actually calling this episode.
I'm sure the show I went to tonight was better than Impact was. Which I might get into.
Calling this show, we are actually episoding this show, Open Shit Night. It was the first ever open fight night on Impact. And we had Hogan basically talking to all the champions, save for the Knockouts champions. For some reason, they weren't there yet. They'll be there later.
Wait, Gail Kim wasn't there? I thought I saw her.
Oh, Gail Kim, I meant the Knockouts tag champs.
Well, they weren't even booked for the show tonight, so it doesn't matter.
No, they were. They were there.
ODB was drunk in the back somewhere.
They weren't there yet, but basically he was talking about all the champions need to be on their best guard because he's got to choose one of them to be the champion to defend his belt. Well, besides Devon, but, you know, the TV title's got to be defended.
Yep.
But, so, he chooses the tag champs, Joe and Magnus.
And who are they going to defend against? We'll find out later.
Yeah, we'll find out later, because he's got 4 teams in mind, and he's going to eliminate the one. He's got the Machine Guns.
Okay. Was it... Anderson and Hardy. Anderson and Hardy,
and ODB and Eric Young.
Yay! That's what I want to see.
Well, we started off this show with, the TNA Open Fight Night has different music than regular Impact.
Yep.
I wonder why. Really?
Because somebody has too much time on their hands.
Yeah, somebody. I guess Surge is in the studios again. Anyways, we had Devon come out to the ring saying he's got to defend his TV title.
Yes.
And we see everybody in the back waiting because Devon's going to choose to challenge somebody for his TV title. He's going to challenge somebody to accept his title defense.
Okay, I did see a little of this first match, and it seemed like it was pretty good. He
chose Bully Ray.
Yep.
Bully Ray was pissed off about this, and he's like,
"Wait, what?
I've been behind your back for 15 years."
Wait a minute. Why would Bully Ray be pissed off about getting a title shot at any time? What sense does that make?
I have no idea. But he was pissed off about this, and he's like, "I don't want to wrestle you, Devon, so no." But Devon throw him in the ring, and the match starts. This was okay match between these two.
It seemed like it was. I did see a little of this.
Got busted open.
Yep.
And the finish was strange because either Devon hit him with a clothesline or with a running shoulder thrust and scored 1, 2, 3. I don't know what he did. I missed that.
I didn't see that either, but I know Devon won.
I just know he ran up to him, did something, and then pinned him 1, 2, 3, and I was like, huh?
Huh?
Yeah. So that was a little strange. You know, this show's been so long, I completely forgot about what's happening in some of this stuff. So, excuse me for a minute. Entertain the folks, will you?
How am I supposed to do that?
You're
leaving the show in my hands? I think that might be dangerous, Seth.
It's no worse than putting a firecracker in the toilet.
I've got the recap in front of me, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, dang it. Why did I not think about that?
No, I've actually got it saved on my computer, so.
All right.
And next up, we have Borash coming out for a promo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this.
If there's ever been the biggest prick I've ever worked for is Eric Bischoff.
It's like since it's open fight night, I'm choosing Eric Bischoff to fight.
And then Bully Ray somehow sneaks in, unbeknownst to anybody. Despite the fact that you can see him creeping around in the background somewhere.
I didn't notice him, but somebody else probably did.
I did. He lays out Borash for no apparent reason.
But I think before that we had an interesting conversation with Ric Flair where...
I didn't see this.
The heck?
What happened?
That's my computer. I'm trying to find the results. Trying to find everything that happened, because Ric Flair talked to the camera. Basically, somebody asked him if he's going to throw a party for Eric Bischoff, and he's like, "You're damn right I'm going to throw a party. I'm Ric Flair. I'm going to throw the best party."
And then we had Kurt Angle squash Anarchia.
Oh, this was interesting. Anarchia comes out, and dear God, this dude is horrible on the mic.
I didn't even watch it.
But he was. And I was like, and everyone around me was like, you know, get this guy off so we can see Serena and Rosita.
I would be.
Yeah, I know it. But unfortunately, he kept saying, I'm going to challenge any team or any one person to the back for a one-on-one match.
Well, you're about to get squashed, dear sir.
Kurt Angle came out. Oh, before this, Kurt Angle was in the back with Daniels and Kazarian, who were thankful that they who were asking Kurt to thank them for helping him.
Yep.
Kurt was pissed and said no, and if you ever do that again, you're going to have a problem with me. So, yeah, basically that happened, and then we go to Daniels. Well, not that. Anarchia fighting Kurt Angle. But first he tries to say that Hernandez will fight you.
Which probably would have been better.
And then Kurt Angle from behind. So it's Anarchia versus Angle.
And a match that was about probably 40 seconds long.
Yeah. Anarchia taps out like a little bitch.
Wait, wasn't he a tag team champion just a few months ago?
I would like to forget about him being his tag team title.
Oh, yes.
Especially since him and Hernandez beat, I believe, they beat Beer Money.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Thanks to Jeff Jarrett. If I remember correctly. That was some stupid shit. We had also, I believe, some backstage stuff where people were like talking about their fair.
Yeah,
before the Anarchia match. This is kind of funny. Anderson was asked to reflect on his time with Eric Bischoff. And while he was speaking, Mexican America's music was playing.
Whoops.
Seriously. Because they're coming to the ring, they're getting the jobber edges, but seriously, you could barely hear Anderson talk about how he hated Bischoff and stuff for screwing him over.
Oopsie. Bad editing.
I think after that, we had even worse because I believe next up was Dixie Carter talking about Eric Bischoff.
Oh, God. Who told her she should talk on camera at all?
I know. I know.
Awful.
And she was just like, I can't believe that I'm going to not miss Eric Bischoff because he kept the division between me and...
Does she sound like the female Colonel Robert Parker?
Well, that's her, by the way, for me. That's my voice of her. Colonel. Well, she's like, oh, and Eric Bischoff stole my company. I'm like, Bischoff
2 years ago.
stole your company, too. And you're friends with him now.
Yes, that's a logical booking.
Yeah. Hogan stole your company. Hogan also stole the company.
And I'm going to let him be general manager.
Yeah. Basically.
No hard feelings.
So, yeah, what was next? The gut check, I believe it was?
Yes.
And Alex Silva came out from OVW.
Yes.
He actually looked like he could be in the ring at any time. Oh, dang it. And you know what I forgot? I forgot Hogan did these eliminations of teams.
It's Hulk Hogan Idol.
Yeah, basically he had the 4 teams in his office. He asked them all basically why they should be number 1 contenders. Daniels Kazarian said that Machine Guns already had their shot and lost. And this line I loved.
Yeah, but who did Daniels and Kazarian beat?
I know they were in lethal lockdown, which was a loss.
But they lost.
Hey, they didn't get pinned.
Yeah. Technicalities.
Technicalities. But, and then they said of Eric Young and ODB, hey, one of them is a man and the other one has an ugly beard.
I'm seeing Eric Young on both accounts there.
No, I think he's calling ODB a man and Eric Young.
Ew. ODB's a transvestite.
Yeah, Eric Young, the ugly one's got a beard, and ODB's a man. But then he said of Hardy and Anderson, they're not a tag team. Oh.
Either were Joe and Magnus at first.
The Machine Guns first. Because he said they did lose on Sunday, and he's not sure about Saban's knee.
But Saban's better now.
I know. Still not sure about it. It's Hogan.
Yes.
But let's get to the gut check challenge, because Alex Silva looked pretty good, but unfortunately...
he lost.
And his opponent was Robbie E.
Yay.
And by the way, I haven't seen Robbie T in a long time, but dear God, dude, get the makeup off of you. Seriously, that dude had makeup on. I know Robbie E is supposed to match with Robbie T and the makeup department and all that stuff. They're supposed to be, hip or something. But seriously, Robbie T, get that damn shit off. You really don't look that good. Anyways, Al Snows, we basically have to vote on Twitter.
I don't have Twitter.
Whether, or Facebook, whatever. Whether Alex Silva deserves a TNA contract.
Is there an option for I didn't see it?
No, unfortunately. If you see it, just don't freaking comment.
Yeah.
Like I did. I'm not even going to comment.
Okay, next we had Brooke against Gail Kim.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did see some of this.
Let me just say, Tess Tucker's hot.
She's decent in the ring.
But she cannot talk on the mic.
Well...
she more seasoning on that mic. So she challenges Gail Kim to a non-title match.
Of course. That makes sense. Why not go for a title shot after you beat her last freaking week?
She can't challenge her for the title because there are only 2 title matches per night.
Really?
And the TV title and tag title are already taken.
So somebody lost. So they drew straws, apparently.
Yeah. Well, the TV title's always defended, and one of the other belts got to be defended on open fight night. Chosen by Hogan, of course.
I'm curious how long they're going to actually stick to the TV title actually being defended every week.
Oh, I hope for a while, because dear God, when it was not defended at all.
Anyway.
Yeah. This was a decent match.
Yeah, it seemed it.
And I got called out because I called her Wonder Woman. And they said, that's the Texas flag. Look up a flag.
What is it?
It's the Texas flag.
Oh.
Basically, that's what it is. And I'm like, dude, looking up every goddamn state flag is stupid. Well, I said it a different way, but well, excuse me, princess. And somebody got the reference.
Did they also do a segment with Bully Ray and Abyss or Joseph Parker or whatever?
Yeah, they did. Bully Ray was on the phone.
Trying to score himself some tail for the night.
How Devon got lucky and all that. Then Joseph Park shows up. Tells him that a bunch of people have been saying the last person to see Abyss was Bully.
Well, that's true.
And then Bully Ray was like, really was just being a complete pisser. Just basically saying, you know what? I don't know where Abyss is. And even if I did, I wouldn't fucking tell you.
Well, he's kind of looking at Abyss, although he doesn't have the mask.
No. Yeah, Joe tried to touch his shoulder, and he's like, don't you dare touch me. Next time you touch me, I'm going to hurt you. And ended
You're going to push him out the door again?
Well, if you think of anything, here's my card, and Bully Ray just basically told him to shove it and left. And then we had the second elimination. Basically, Eric Young and ODB were like, you know, Hope, I was big fan of your brother and stuff, and we were hanging out and stuff, and he says, you can have ODB for the night.
Wait, what?
He said, and ODB was okay with it.
Oh, dear God.
And guess what Hogan said? He's like, I can't afford you.
Hello?
Yeah, making fun of his financial troubles. Anyways, he says he takes the two to task for not being at Impact last week, rather being at the hotel room, and said they're eliminated. So, it's going to be down to either Anderson and Hardy or Daniels Kazarian, but we got to wait. We still got something else going on. What was next?
What was next? Next thing I have was the tag championship match.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there was other shit going on. Like, we had Daniel Kazarian saying that noticing AJ Styles wasn't here tonight. And saying that AJ Styles, if he's not here next week, they'll release pictures.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, I don't even want to know what those pictures are. I still go with the
Why is this feud still going?
I still go with the baby doll photos. I swear.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but that's funny.
The baby doll photos that she used to blackmail Dusty Rhodes years ago.
That was before I was born, I believe.
Yeah, it was NWA stuff. But it was back then. It's one of those storylines that never finished. What she had on the...
Gotta love that. The wrestling storyline that never finishes.
Yep. Or maybe it was... This time, another one. AJ Styles was driving the Hummer.
Oh, God, another terrible storyline.
Or AJ Styles would be announced Raw GM.
Oh boy.
And he's taking TNA contract by doing that shit.
TNA just didn't know about it. He was doing it on the side.
Yeah. So yeah, or this will be another old one. AJ Styles, his mother was a member of the J-Tech Corporation. That was a stable back in the. That was a stable back in the old days that was headed by Terry Funk, but they basically were funded by a corporation that we never knew the leader of.
It was Dory Funk.
Or, and one more idea, AJ Styles had sex with Jim Cornette's mom.
Oh, God. Cornette face.
Yeah. So, anyways, we had Garrett.
An enthusiastic sigh.
Yeah, and Garrett basically saying, I'm in some ways I'm sad to see my father go.
I wish I had the charisma he did.
What?
That I wish I had the charisma he did.
Yeah. In other words, I had he was basically a traitor. He basically only did everything for himself, so I am, and he's gone. So yeah, it was that. Then we moved to the tag title situation. Tag champ come out, Daniels and Kazarian come out, Hardy and Anderson come out. Hogan chooses Hardy and Anderson over Daniels and Kazarian. We get that title match. Oh, by the way, next day, God damn it, I missed another backstage segment. Al Snow talking to Alex Silverman, telling him that next week the judge will decide whether he's part of the TNA roster.
I think I did see some of this.
And Robert Roode comes in. Or Bobby Roode. Yeah, Bobby
Roode
comes in and basically says, you get a TNA contract. That took me a long damn time to get one.
Now they did an RVD video package too, somewhere in this mess of a show.
Yeah,
wow.
They did. Am
I supposed to?
Bobby Roode.
Does it bother anybody else that he went from being an afterthought to now being the number one contender?
No, because everyone knows he's not going to win.
Yeah.
He's
it's
just
an inconsequential match and an inconsequential show.
Slammiversary. So no, I have no problem with him being an afterthought. I'm sure TNA has a problem with it, but that's them.
That's their problem.
Yeah, that is. But anyways, basically, Bobby Roode says all this and says, as a TNA superstar, you got to expect anything that punches Alex Silva in the gut.
Yay, professionalism.
Yeah. And then leaves. By the way, that was all we saw of Bobby Roode.
Yay, champion.
And did not see James Storm at all.
Well, Storm's taking time off.
Yeah, Storm's a little ticked off about him blowing his lockdown shot.
I guess my luck has run out.
We got the tag title match, and basically through the whole thing, Jeff and Mr. Anderson, who I forgot earlier they were doing arguments, kissed Jeff Hardy.
Oh God!
On the cheek, not on the lips.
Oh
but
boy!
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude! He's like, Ian Anderson, mwah! And even Jeff's looking at him like, dude, what the fuck?
I know I'm weird, but I'm not that weird.
I know. So basically, these two, and several times, it looked like Jeff and Anderson were actually going to win the match.
This actually seemed pretty good as well.
It was. But in the end, Anderson got caught in the Kina clutch. Jeff couldn't get in the ring to save him because Brutus Magnus had his leg. And Anderson taps.
Yep.
Which is a surprise to anyone because I don't remember the last time Anderson tapped.
I don't think he's ever tapped.
Oh, wait. He tapped out to Kurt Angle. He's tapped out to Angle before.
2 years ago.
Yeah, but again, everyone's tapped out to Angle.
Now, this Impact actually seemed pretty good up until this next segment we're going to get to.
Yeah, it did, and I was willing to say that. But then, we had...
The shittiest segment of the night.
We had the Bischoff farewell party. We had a throne. Everyone from Team Bischoff, Eric, was in the ring. And they were basically kissing Eric's ass. Bully Ray saying,
"You are the wind beneath my wings."
Yeah, and I love that. Oh, by the way, Devon called him Bubba when he was challenging him.
Come on, Bubba.
And I was like, WB might call it.
He hasn't been Bubba in 7 years.
Yeah. So, and we got that trademark, damn it. But anyway, basically, Blair tells the fans that rude because they're like, nah, 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 all that. Taz was defending Bischoff.
And Tenay was shitting on him.
Yes, I know. And I think at one moment Taz was like, Bischoff, Tenay, you would be in that ring. And Tenay's like, oh, you're on. And nothing ever happened. So anyways, we had all them, and they gave Bischoff a watch.
A Rolex.
Yeah. And then Kim's out with machine guns. Ari.
Shane Douglas is there?
Huh?
Said Shane Douglas was there?
No, I said the machine guns.
Oh, that's...
Not Shane Douglas.
That's what
The machine guns, Aries.
Okay, I missed people in the background there. I saw the machine guns, and I saw Borash.
Oh yeah, Borash and Garrett.
Yes.
And the crowd was basically cheering for everyone but Garrett.
Maybe Garrett needs to take some lessons from Jeremy Borash on how to talk on the microphone.
Yeah. But Garrett basically says, you know what, Bischoff? We're going to give you your send-off, and we have a present for you. You're going to, well, the Dallas Cowboys have the ring. The NFL is the Hall of Fame. So we have
the Shed of Shame.
The Shed of Shame, which SoCal now feels to be a porta potty.
A shit house.
A shit house on wheels. So everyone gets into a fight. Garrett.
Wait a minute, a brawl MCNA?
And Borash grab Bischoff, throw him in the toilet, lock the damn thing with the chain, and toss it over.
Yes.
And then Bischoff comes out looking with fake shit on him.
He was shit-faced.
Yeah. And everyone's talking about the smell. I'm sure it really wasn't that bad. Although no one in their costs, they probably couldn't hire fake shit.
Bischoff, Tenay should have said, I always knew Bischoff was full of shit.
Stevie J said it best that this segment basically said what this show was shit. And that's how we ended the show.
Yay.
Yeah. And that's why we're calling this episode of Impact Implosion Open Shit Night. Let's get to some good shit that actually happened.
Rinka King.
And I believe they actually mentioned this as their Season finale?
Maybe. And when does a wrestling show have seasons?
Apparently in India they do.
Yes.
But their 2-episode season finale. We start the show with Commissioner Jazzy LaHoria and backstage interviewer who I have mentioned before, but his name's Ram Manon. They asked him about the upcoming Ring of King World title match between Sir Brutus Magnus and Mahabali Vera. Jeff Jarrett interrupts and tells Jazzy that there will be no title match tonight because he believes Vera doesn't deserve it, and tries to put his hands on Victoria threateningly. But unfortunately, this sumo, Yamano Toma, handcuffs Eric Bischoff to himself and signals that Jeff ain't going anywhere.
All right.
Then we have the Indian wedding. Guests include Barood and Dr. Nicholas Dinsmore.
Eugene!
Both Angelina and Romeo Raptor and Zorovar come out dressed in garb. And Angelina's got to choose which one she's going to marry.
Magnifique.
She marries the midget. The wedding happens all the while Romeo is just sitting there sad.
Yay.
Yeah. We had a fatal 4-way ladder match for the greatest high flyer wings.
Who's in this match?
Oh, you don't know about the greatest high flyer wings, do you? Basically, Jeff Jarrett, a few weeks ago, named Sanjay Dutt the greatest high flyer and gave him a pair of gold wings that he wears on his back. This is their cruiserweight title.
Okay.
So, anyways, Pagal Parida, Sanjay Dutt, Zema Ion, and Jimmy Rave.
This sounds pretty good.
It was actually a really good match that ended with Sanjay seemingly having the match won after knocking both Zema and Jimmy off the ladder and to the outside. But when he starts climbing up the ladder, Pagal goes up the turnbuckle, jumps on the ladder, and climbs up instead, so they're both fighting on top of the ladder. Pagal knocks Sanjay off, wins the wings.
All right.
Next, we have Jeff Jarrett and the RDX lawyer complaining about how unfair it is that Brutus Magnus has to defend his title against Vera.
But he's the champion.
Yamana Toyoma, you still see Jarrett's handcuffed to him, and Toyoma is eating it. So, yeah, Jeff Jarrett's sitting there. So, Yamana Toyoma's sitting there eating. Singh comes in and tells Jeff that this situation is the only way that Jeff can interfere in the match. We then have the main event, which went near 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. And for a 46-minute show, that's a lot. And this was the main event between Vera and Sir Brutus Magnus. The end came when Magnus tried to hit Vera with the belt while the referee was down, but Singh yanked it out of his hand. That momentary distraction caused Vera to hit Magnus with the Vera bomb, which is basically kind of like the Spinebuster from David Otunga.
Okay.
And pinned him for the 1-3 to become the new Ring of King World Champion.
All right.
Yeah. After the match, Jeff says that tomorrow, everyone is either with RDX or they are dead men.
Wow, I've never seen this angle before.
Next, Singh, his blood will be on RDX's hands. Which goes to the next show. RDX comes out to the ring very pissed off. Jarrett says that tonight the members of RDX are going to burn Ring King to the ground. By the way, I did some research on this, and RDX is a dynamite company in Indonesia, not in India.
Okay, then.
RDX is the type of dynamite that's down there. So that's what stable is. He then says that they're going to do this 2 stages. Stage 1, he said, is Deadly Donda, the Monster Abyss, Scott Steiner, Brutus Magnus, or Sir Brutus Magnus, and Sanjay Dutt are going to be in a 10-man tag against 5 of Singh's boys. He then said stage 2 will be himself versus Harbhajan Singh with no referee, no one. This is going to be a straight-up fight.
Awesome.
And Jeff ends his rant by saying that he hates Baji. That's Harbhajan's nickname. Baji. We then have a 10-man tag match. And the 5 men of Singh's boys are Ira, Matt Morgan, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Bagal Perenda, and Roscoe Jackson. This was a straight-up brawl of a match with everyone on the outside and only Ira and Donda in the ring at the end. Donda tries to use his knife pick but misses, and Ira hits him with the Ira bomb for the win. We then have a parking lot where we see the newly married couple, Angelina Zorvar, parked in a small truck, being just married, with, by the way, the sumo wrestlers in the back for some reason. He's got to get a ride in the arena.
Right.
And really. So, yeah, main event is Harbhajan Singh versus Jeff Jarrett. You remember Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg?
Is it that bad?
There was a lot of stalling. Jeff first tries to out-wrestle Singh, but Singh is able to keep up with him. Then Jeff tries to escape, but the sumo wrestler throws him back in the ring. RDX tries to help, but sumo blocks the path. However, Singh does actually put his hands on Jeff Jarrett and does a few punches and stuff. This was a very slow match. That doesn't end because, no referee. So basically the lights go on. Sumo wrestler, for some reason, is nowhere to be seen. RDX in the ring and has trained Singh. Jeff Jarrett is about to deliver a guitar shot when all the face wrestlers come out to make a save. By the way, all the face wrestlers I'm talking about are just the 5 men from earlier. This is all going on. The outlaw Isaiah Cash comes out with all the title belts and says the reason was the Lakers steal all the belts. By the way, I should notice that the tag champ belts are there, yet the tag champs are nowhere to be seen in this show. The tag champs being the Bollywood boys. So yeah,
where are they?
So I wonder how he steals belts. But basically, they all get on the truck and steal and ride off as the show ends. So yeah, see.
Until next season.
On.
Until next season.
Yep, until next season, we'll find out how get the belt back from RDX.
Hooray.
Yeah. We now talk about some TNT news because there is news.
There is some this week?
Yeah. You remember that Hulk Hogan sex tape?
Oh, God.
Pictures of that were leaked.
Oh, God.
I didn't see them.
Thank God.
I'm sane. I'm actually a sane man. So I saw them, and no, I actually didn't see them, but I heard the news. It was the woman rumored to be in that sex tape is Bubba the Love Sponge ex-wife.
Ew.
So there are two reasons I could think about this. One, Bubba the Love Hulk Hogan's a pretty shitty friend.
Well, I mean...
Because he doesn't know the pro code. Pros before hoes, buddy.
I know what that is.
Yeah, or the man law that if any woman dumps you, she dumps all of you. But after that, or probably more likely since knowing Bubba Love Sponge, he whored his wife out to Hulk Hogan. And Bubba Love Sponge gets a little reward on the side. This video probably came from his collection. That's what I mean by that.
I don't know.
Yeah. What else happened? Last week's Impact lost point in ratings. So
no, they're now 0.8.
0.8. This week was an 0.97.
Oh boy.
So yeah, less people tuned in. And the most watched segment was Hulk Hogan talking about open fight night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next story.
Let me see. Next story is there is. Oh yeah, Dixie Carter once again promising major changes. You know, the usual spill.
Oh boy.
On that, and that's all the news.
Goody.
Well, we're not going to have as fun of a show as we did last week, even because we had a show. So is Kev still around?
Yep, Kev's still around.
All right.
So I think we're basically done with this show.
All right.
Righty. That's open shit night. And this is the end of TNA Impact Implosion.
See y'all next week.
See ya.